So, hello and welcome to this game of Noirlandia by Evan Rowland. I have it's a Gauntlet Hangout game, and we have some wonderful Gauntleteers with us. It's Alun here, and Paul, and Steven. All of whom which I've played with before, so it's going to be fun. Also, all played GM-less things before, so that's already a hurdle. We managed to do together. Noirlandia is a game about a crime, and our characters will be working to find out what happened, pretty much like why it happened, how it happened, and who did it. That's our questions that we're going to answer today. There is quite a bit of mechanics in this game. It's both using cards and dice in different colors. I'll guide you through how you do all that. All the rules will be my responsibility. But this game is also a GM-less game, so in play we'll all doing the same thing pretty much. The first thing we're going to do is to create our city and our setting, and answer some questions about it. There's a bit of randomness in there too, so we'll see. I'm going to get into that when we start, but and then we're going to answer some questions, define a bit how the city looks. Then we're going to roll up some characters and find out who we're playing, who would like to play, and then also find out who the victim is. And then pretty much we start play until we either know what happened or we fucked up in such a bad way that we're screwed. So pretty much that's I'm expecting to use, as I've said, it was going to be 4 hours. I'm gonna try to aim to maybe be a bit shorter, but the game says 4 hours, so and I have burnt myself on thinking that I can run things faster before, so that's the allotted time slot. Any questions before we begin?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So let's see. The first thing we are going to do is to see what our city is corrupted by. If you go into to roll for your party, we'll actually roll for this. There is a table which has the following corruptions: technology, extravagance, deception, isolation, pride, and apathy. And pretty much that's symbolizes like what is wrong in our city. What is the thing that makes it a gritty place? So we're gonna roll a dice here on 1 to 6. I'm gonna roll it in roll for your party. So we got a 3, and that's deception. So I'm gonna write in our city is corrupted by deception. So this even though this is like we have the genre noir, it's pretty like open in terms of what kind of noir it is. There's a lot of kinds of noir. There's like 20s noir, there's sci-fi noir even. I think cyberpunk is kind of like noirish in a lot of ways. Do any of you have like any specific like thoughts about what you'd like to do in terms of putting it somewhere on a scale like that, or like any thoughts?
I mean, I kind of like those traditional Marlowe-esque settings, but I don't.
Okay, so like the 1950s, shall we say?
Yeah, yes, after the war.
Cool. Do we have like a place in mind, or is it a fictional place?
Oh, how about Los Angeles? That's sort of quite nice after the war. You know, Art Deco, place looks nice. You can do a bit of noir there, I'd have thought.
Okay, and Hollywood, that ties into the corrupted by deception thing. Everybody there is a phony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Cool. I'm gonna write that down here in our character keeper. Then we're going to take rounds asking these 4 questions here under here. We can start with Alun. How are the city's people unlike us, like the characters?
They believe the dream.
That's very noir. The American dream, or is it any specific? Is there like?
I think it's they don't see the deception. They believe the dream that they inhabit. Every busboy and waitress believes they're going to be a star.
Yeah. And Stephen, what do the buildings look like?
They look like a film set. They look like a facade.
And Paul, how did the corruption take hold?
It was spread through movies.
Like that they built like is it can you be more specific? Is it like the kind of like dreams or hero stories in the movies, or what is it?
Yeah, let's go for so yeah, I'm thinking of sort of your serialized black and white sort of hero stories that kids would go and see on a Saturday morning, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask the last one then. What laws do the people live by? I'm thinking it's like this thought of like that your value is attached to your success.
Yeah. I like that.
Right. Stars are not like other people.
Yeah. And if you're not being able to like get out of it, it's because you're not good enough, right?
Right. Yeah, you're a star or you're nobody, and everybody wants to be a star.
Cool. So there's yeah. So and then we have our districts. You can define like a little bit of how the districts look different from each other. You can start again, Alun, with downtown. How does it look there?
I think this is multi-story Art Deco buildings, or are you looking for a particular structure? In which case, I'd say City Hall.
Sure, you can add the City Hall as being like a distinct thing there. It was a pretty open question, to be fair, honest.
Okay, well, if you go for something like multi-story Art Deco, e.g. City Hall.
Cool, yeah. And Stephen, Skid Row, how does it look there?
Multi-story tenement buildings with small, crowded apartments.
Multi-story tenants. And in the outskirts, Paul.
I'm thinking sort of dry desert. A lot of tumbleweed, a lot of dust, shacks, that sort of thing, ranches.
Yeah, and the upper crust. Oh yeah, I think it's just like this huge houses everywhere. I mean, it's on the hill, of course, so everyone has a view, and it's like it's like this it's all wall communities.
Right, mansions and swimming pools.
Yeah. I'm just gonna write that. Actually, that was better. Cool. Yeah, I think we have our city pretty well already, and it's a setting that we all like know quite a bit, like a little bit about, like how it looks like. Is there any like things that anyone wants to add to the setting? How is this different from like is there any way it's different from the 50s Los Angeles that we know?
Oh, this is quite far out. How about perpetual night?
Yeah, I mean,
It's always night, so there's always
dusk.
neon. Yeah.
cool. I mean, I don't. Is there? I'm sure. That seems like a very like exaggerated thing that would be in a noir movie.
Yeah. You don't know
Right.
it seems always night. You just never see it during the day.
Right. I mean, this is not literally a science fiction setting. It's just all the action happens to take place at night.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying? Yeah.
Or is it?
Maybe, yeah. We don't. People watching the movie may wonder if it's actually always night.
Yeah.
Cool. Then the next thing we're going to do is to make our characters. That is made by drawing cards, pretty much. We're going to make 5 characters by random, and then we're going to choose which one of them we want to play afterwards. So I'm going to go on the roll for your party, and I'm going to draw 5 cards, and then I'm going to roll 5 dice. Okay. And then if you look on roll 20, no, on the roll for your party, you should be able to see. Okay. And now we're all excited to find out what this actually all means, of course. So, our first character is a mobster, local bigwig, and they're they're not extravagant. They have a principle that's called "live always with dignity." So we're going to write that into one of the character spots. You can just ignore the names there for now. Actually, I just put it there so that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that sounds more like a local bigwig than a mobster. Not sure mobster living by dignity flies.
I mean, right. I mean, local bigwig could be like a studio executive or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a bigwig.
I mean, or it could be like a studio fixer who really is sort of like a mobster in a way, but who is always very, very, very dignified, even as he's doing these dirty, corrupt things for the studio. So we don't have to define it yet.
Yeah, the suit is there from the upper crust. Cool. So that's one character. We have a bigwig from the upper crust that always lives with dignity. Let's see, for the second one here, we have 5. That is a salesperson or industrialist. Yeah.
What's and is the characteristic then never reveal my true self? The principle.
The principle is yes, never reveal my true self.
That sounds more like I like the idea of a salesperson, because we need to have a range in social strata, don't we?
We can do whatever we want, but it definitely sounds like something a salesperson might be inclined to. I don't know. In my head, at least, stereotyping.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never successfully sold anything to anyone. But.
Right. Well, I think we're going to each pick one of these characters. Is that correct? And then whoever picks the character can define what those things mean.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're from the outskirts. Just putting all the information in here. The next one is it's another big wig or mobster. Well, I guess we get both of them then, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we've got a local bigwig, then we probably want a mobster.
And their principle is justice must be done.
Yeah, you just need to define justice.
I mean, a mobster in this kind of world could be definitely like. And then the suit is hearts, so that is they're from downtown. I got a good spread.
All this on a Google sheet, is it? Because
Yeah.
do you have a link?
Look at the cheat sheet, Paul. Oh, have you open the Google sheet and it's the cheat sheet tab?
Oh, I can send you the link again if you don't have it. Here it is.
Excellent, got it.
So and then we have let's see here, the two. It's actor performer, and the actor performer they are.
Is it not Urchin Vagabond, Mikkel?
Yeah, actor performer is a 3.
Oh yeah, Urchin Vagabond, yeah. It's true. And they are a 6. Never betray my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then the suit is they're also from the upper crust. What? The vagabond from the upper crust, yeah.
Well, there's lots of pool houses you can.
Yeah, I mean things can go wrong. What happened though? Who knows? Yeah, and then the last one is Ace, and that's the mastermind schemer. And they were also never betray my own. So now you can already start looking at these and thinking about like which of these would I like to play. 4 of those are going to be our characters, and the last one who doesn't get picked is going to be the victim. And the mastermind, they're from downtown. And first come, first serve.
I'd like to be the vagabond, please.
Sure.
Unless anybody's really keen.
No, I'll take the salesperson.
Yeah. Any preferences, Paul?
I'll take the mobster, please.
Yeah, there's 2 possibilities there. Is it you taking the with justice must be done?
Yes, I'll take the. That's the one from downtown, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. I think our victim is the big wig from the upper crust.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And then I'm playing the mastermind schemer. That's our characters now. We can decide on a name for our character, and a little bit like how they look. You choose as for like the stats in this game. It's the drop down menus there: the body, mind, heart, and rep. Pretty much like the upper one, it gives you it's the highest, and you can choose one of those, and you can choose one on the second highest, which is pretty much neutral, and the rest is of the third highest.
Okay.
Any questions?
So what was the highest rating? Is that able?
It depends on which rank it is. On the body, it's vigorous.
Okay.
On mind, it's sharp. It's supposed to be in the order that it's.
Okay, got you. So 1 at the top, 3 in the middle.
Yes.
And what was the other one? 1 at the bottom.
No, it's 1 on the top, 1 on the second one, and the rest on the third one.
Okay.
Mhm.
I should probably make the rank there so it's a little easier to see. Well, yeah. Other than that, yeah. Let's see. Also, make a name for our victim. Do anyone have any suggestions?
He's a bigwig, isn't he?
It's
Michael Ziegler.
okay for that. Yeah, I think he probably was like one of he's also pretty like old, like in the 60s, probably like pretty well established, but like really like the top name in like these movies that have been like very much like the one who started with like the hero journey kind of American Dream kind of movies, who started that trend. So it was really like an iconic.
Like a director.
Yeah, director. Yeah, I think so. I think probably like even owns like owned his own studio or something at this point, probably.
So producer rather than director, maybe. The money man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably like this kind of. I think like he must have been like the writer for the stories, at least. Like he's the like intellectual origin of that kind of thing.
Well, if it's somebody who really has the power, then like a hands-on producer. It wouldn't be a script writer, but somebody who has the power to get movies made would be a producer.
Yeah, sure, producer. Yeah, and it's definitely like I think like probably was like the son of some kind of like rich old money.
No, this is Hollywood. He would be new money.
Yeah, okay. What is new money in Hollywood at this time?
It's people who've made their money in the movies.
Oh yeah, okay. So
they got in the 20s and they've just grown a studio.
Right. I mean, somebody like Walt Disney who came in, they had a small studio, it became a big studio.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, sure. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much our character creation. I'm gonna, let's see, also remember a name for my character here now. I need also that. I think
I'm going to change my character's name to be a little different from the victims. Or from the victims.
I can start with presenting my character, I think. I'm playing Esmeralda Sanchez. She is, I think she is like, she owns like the coolest club downtown. It's like it's the place where like all the up and coming wannabe actors want to go at night to maybe meet some kind of like producer or director. I'm pretty sure like the relationship that I have with the victim is that Michael Ziegler was like a regular customer. I think he even had his own table or something like that. And I think the club is called, oh yeah, what could it be called? Okay, I need to think about that. That's an important name for this place. Anyone ready to go next? Presenting character.
I mean, I'll go. Okay, I'm playing Phil Robson. He's a down on his luck Hollywood agent. He had a couple big clients in the past, but they're sort of washed up. They had these short, flashy careers that just they lost popularity. They got out of the business. Now I've got a bunch of small clients, but no big clients, and I'm looking for the next big star that I can manage.
Awesome. Alon?
Okay, Davy McNeil is a former child star who dropped out of the business when he had an accident on set. Now makes a living as a pool boy to his former co-stars.
Okay, and was Davey one of my clients?
I think we might play to find that out, Stu.
Okay.
And Paul?
Yeah, I'm Jerry Cohen, ex-boxer, hard man. Yeah, local mobster. So I'm a pusher of all things: women, drugs, gambling. Yeah, I'm there for the seedy things in life.
Cool. That's our characters. I think the club's name is Governor's Yacht Club. Of course. Yeah. So, and this is pretty much what I'm just gonna add the last post-its to our board here, so we can get in downtown Skid Row. The outskirts. Pretty much how this game works is that we have scene rounds. So we have one scene each, and then we go for a new round. What we try to do in this game is to connect clues. So every scene is going to end with that you do an investigation roll, and that will determine if you get a new clue or not. So pretty much, you get one of the like answer to one of the questions of how things happened, like why, how, or who, when we have connected 3 clues. So pretty much, yeah, that's like the basic of how the game runs. So pretty much like you would decide, okay, I'm gonna have a scene. We have a clue at the murder scene. That's the first scene is going to be probably there because that's the only clues we have at the start. You're gonna say who is in the scene, assign characters if that is necessary. Like, for example, if there's just you and an NPC, you can ask one of the other players to play the NPC. Then you just narrate or do the scene as you would in any game. Like if there's an NPC or another player, you play it as you want, and then you play it to where you try to investigate something. And that's pretty much like up to you to steer the scene towards that. But it's the person whose scene it is who does it. So if you're in the scene as but it's not your scene, then it's still the person who's responsible for the scene who will like, okay, I go to investigate blah blah blah, or I ask him a question. It could be like a lot of things. Like it could be an interrogation, or it could be like looking down a dark alley, or like that's up to us to define. And say when you do. So I'm gonna try to, or something like that, or just narrate it in the story. Then we will do like a roll depending on like different kinds of criteria. I will explain when we get to it. I think that's the easiest way. But yeah, one thing is probably like good to know. You'll get like a bonus die to your roll if you aim to use the skill that you're good in. So like the one that you have the highest rating in, you'll get an extra die. And for the ones that you're bad in, you get an extra black die, which is bad. It's like a disadvantage. So that's a good thing to know when you set the scene. So if you're trying to succeed, then you aim towards for example, for me, I will aim to use my rep because that will give me an advantage. Yeah. So is there any questions? We'll try them and see how it works out. I could maybe go first, and since to fail first, so we can learn. So the first thing we'll do also, we have to see. Let's see, just a second here. Oh yeah, the victim. Yeah, the victim was from the upper crust. So I think I'm gonna set the scene. The scene is going to be like the person got killed, or at least was found in the upper crust area. I think maybe. I think maybe in their home, there was like it was like during a party or something like that in their own home, and I think like there was a lot of people there, like all the most I don't know, popular or actors and all the wannabes who could get into that kind of stuff, they would be there. It's a very like big house. I imagine it being like one of the most expensive houses in the area. It's like very I imagine it being like very like Art Deco-ish in its style, and of course like a big like patio with a pool with a view over the whole city. Yeah, and I think so when am I there? I think I think maybe that it's like as the police are coming and like getting us. By the way, before I start, is there anyone who didn't put the relationship to the victim? I might have forgotten that.
Oh, sorry, I haven't.
So like negotiating with him for a client, is that kind of a relationship? Is that the sort of thing you're looking for?
Yeah, sure. Maybe it's like an ex-client, or is it a client you have now, or?
I think it's a client I have now. It's somebody I'm trying to get her a film deal, and like I was just on the verge of getting the contract signed when he was killed.
Yeah, okay, so your relationship to Ziegler is
Right. He was going to hire my client for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
This was going to be her big break.
Oh yeah, and your big comeback.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and Paul.
Sorry, yeah, he owed me money for women and drugs.
And Alan.
He was the producer on my last movie, the one I was injured in, and screwed me over the compensation because he didn't take out the right insurance.
So yeah, how? Because it's also important a little bit that it draws you into trying to find out what happened. How can we?
He always said he'd see me right in his will.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think maybe. Okay, so yeah, what is it, Stephen?
I was going to say that just seems just a little implausible for a Hollywood executive, but maybe you thought you could negotiate better with his widow. His widow always liked you.
Yeah, okay then.
Right.
I always got on with his wife. ...
Right.
Yeah, nice, and of course.
I mean, and of course it's noir, so there can be the hint of an affair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think this is actually like it's not when the police comes or anything. It's like after the sermon where he's been put to rest, and there's like this reception in the house. And I think we all were there during the party, or at least yeah, I think so. So we were there when it happened, but we didn't really we weren't really present. We don't really know what happened, but like this is the first time we're back in the house since then. And I think it's like on the patio, and I think it's pretty like late. Like
would it be more helpful if I was his pool boy?
I mean, you could be.
Let's make that, because that puts me in the building, but not at the party.
Yeah.
Right.
So I imagine then maybe like Phil being there and Jerry being there.
Right. Right. I mean, I was invited to the party because I'm negotiating with him, so it's perfectly natural for me to be there.
Yeah, but why are you at the reception after the funeral, really?
Oh well, I'm an agent. I mean, I always go to funerals. I mean, I always go where I'm going to meet people and be seen.
Yeah. And why are you there, Jerry?
Jerry is there because he wants his money. So if he couldn't get it from Michael, he will attempt to get it from his estate. And also, he's always looking to expand his client base. People always want women and drugs. So, what a good place to peddle drugs than when people are down on their luck. Funeral.
Yeah, I think Esmeralda is probably there because, you know, where there's people dying, there's opportunity. You know, there must be people who Michael was a very like connected person and like important person here, and I think like when someone like him dies, then certainly there are people going around like hyenas trying to pick up whatever. That's a perfect opportunity for her to profit. So yeah, I think like Esmeralda like comes over to Phil and Jerry. I think probably like it's pretty late. Like most people have left, but you know you I don't think any of you probably were very like far ahead in the line to meet anyone who like at least like the family or people who are like close friends or anything, because you know you're not very close to the family. So,
I'm serving canapes, of course.
yeah, of course, yeah. So I think like Esmeralda like comes over and is like, man, I don't think I've heard anyone say anything about who they think it was. It's like people don't want to know. What do you guys think? And I think like Esmeralda like looks directly over at Jerry.
I think it was part of the South Side mob. I think Michael was involved with them, trying to push me out, trying to get me out of the scene. I think it's those South Side boys.
Well, I gotta say, if it was the Southside Boys, they had the lousiest timing I ever heard of. I was this close to getting a deal signed with him. This close. Couldn't they have waited until Saturday? What was the rush?
They'd be making moves all across town, those Southside boys. Some of my buildings, some of my women, some of my drug shipments. They've been making moves.
That is a crying shame. It's getting so a guy can't earn an honest living in this city anymore.
Too true. Too true.
Can I pay anyone?
Yeah, and I think Esmeralda like probably like takes like a few of them and like starts eating. Oh man, this gossip makes me hungry. And I think like she looks over at Davy and it's like, oh, you were also there, weren't you? I remember you. You're familiar from somewhere. You look very familiar.
I'm always here, miss. I work here. I was serving drinks that night. I found him.
Did you see those pesky Southside crew round here?
Mikkel, I need to drop out of character. I mean, how do we can I describe how he died? How I found him? How do you want to play this? How freeform are we?
It shouldn't answer any of the questions. So like how, but you can definitely like describe the crime scene if you want. At least in broad strokes.
Yeah, he was found dead on the toilet.
Oh really? Can we go? Could we go and there and see? Is it open? I'm sure nobody would mind.
It's kind of more than my job's worth.
You want to see the throne that Michael died on?
I mean, maybe there's something in there that we can.
I just can't take you upstairs. It's more than my job's worth.
Yeah, and I think like Esmeralda just like looks annoyed over at you and like Gives you like $50 or something like that.
Oh, just head to the top of the stairs. I'll see you there in 5 minutes. If anybody asks, say you're looking for the ladies' room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I take my canapé away and head upstairs.
Yeah, and I will tag along with Esmeralda. I mean, you got me curious.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a great script for your next movie.
What, the king dead on his throne, Elvis Presley style? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
well, I'm keen to see where a man died. Lead on.
I think we probably see like 5 minutes later, we're like all three of us standing outside like the toilet.
And I lead you around. There's a big gallery that goes round the hall where the buffet is laid out, and into a really vast master bedroom that overlooks the front drive, and then through the master bedroom to the ensuite. And there's a police kind of one of those tapes, do not cross. And I open the door, nudge it open, and hold the tape up so you can step into the bathroom, which is gold, marble, vast. It has its own balcony, a walk-in closet. It's where I found him.
Yeah. I mean, I step inside and I scrape at some of the gold with my fingernail, and it's just this cheap foil that peels off.
Yeah, and I think like Esmeralda like looks into like the room and like, how could this have happened? Looking for clues, and I think I'm gonna roll my investigation roll here. So how this works is that we will roll 2 white dice. Later, you can also when you win challenges, you can also get an extra white die in here, but we haven't had any challenges in the scene. So it will be two white dice and it will be 3 black dice. We don't have any escalations yet. It's something that can happen when we fail, and we don't have a challenge loss, which is like, hence if we had a challenge, you could either succeed or fail at it, getting an advantage or a disadvantage. I'm gonna roll them first here. So here is 2 white dice. And then someone can roll 3 black dice. It doesn't seem like it goes very well for me here. So,
All right, I'll roll black dice.
Go ahead, Steve.
I don't actually see an option for black, so
let's make something red. Maybe.
Okay, so I'll roll 3 red dice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I do now is that we take this is the opposition die here, the red ones, and move it over here, and then we'll match the dice. So I can then choose from my dice and pick which of the opposition dice I want to match. So if I had rolled not terrible here, I could have, for example, if I had like a 5. I could put it over the 4, so I have a victory.
Oh, I see.
So in that way, like a draw is a loss, but if you have higher dice on your white die than the red die, then it's a victory. Later there will also be bargain dice, which is something you get from coming along in the story. So if you find out an answer, you'll get the extra white dice that you can do something for. But this is not the case now. So I'm just gonna have to match here, and it's going to be the 3 with here and then the 1 here. So that means we have 3 results. That's a 5 loss, a 4 loss, and a 3 loss.
Well, 3 ties. Does a tie count as a loss?
It also does, yes.
Okay.
So let's see here. On miss, we have a really damage condition and a 4 is damage condition, and then a 5 is also damage condition. I mean, it seems like a lot.
And the 3 is. So they're all damage condition.
Right. Yeah, there were no relevant trait dice. It looks like you get to roll those as well.
Yeah, do I? Just a second, I'm just going to double check this. Investigation. Protagonist puts forward any 2 white die, pairing it with blah blah. No, I don't think it's on the investigation rolls. Is it?
On the player sheets, we've got there's a thing saying investigation rules, relevant trait dice plus 2 white dice plus bargains from challenge, victory, and answers.
Okay, plus bargain from challenge, victory. Yeah, okay, so a challenge victory is like, if, for example, if we had a hindrance going up here, we could have a challenge roll.
Right.
If you win the challenge roll, you get an extra white dice for the investigation roll as well.
Right. But first it says relevant trait dice plus 2 white dice plus bargains.
Oh, okay, I guess it's a white. Oh, okay, I didn't.
So I think whatever your mind is, you roll that number of white dice as well.
Yeah, so my mind is not good, so that doesn't help us anyway. Let's see. My mind is neutral. I'm calm. So there's no dice from that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think, is there any like suggestions how this looks? I think we're all here, so it makes sense being caught in a situation like this. Maybe like it's like a reputation thing, that we all get a worse reputation for being caught peeking into the like crime scene.
Okay, so I've named his wife as Lucille Lemoy. Does Lucille catch us in the bathroom?
That could be. Also, another thing you can do here if you want is to break your principle. If you break your principle, then you get all the dice will be successes. You can do that twice during a game, but it will have consequences during like the prologue or the epilogue, I mean. So I'm just going to look here what it is for me.
I mean, it says break principle to win ties on the player sheet thing. So it seems like it would make one of them a success.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to do it anyway, but it's a thing you can do.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, I think Lucille catches us there. How does that look?
I think she comes to the tape because she sees the door is open and looks and says, "What the hell are you doing in here?"
I'm going to say we're checking out where the king died.
Nothing. We were just interested. You know, it's dying in such a place, such a tragedy.
I'm sorry, Lucille. They twisted my arm.
And I think we just cut there.
Get the hell out.
Yeah, at that. So now you can put your rep down 1. All
Sorry,
of you.
Who puts rep down?
Well, we had three failures.
Oh, I see.
So I guess at least I am doing it. I can put a 2 down. I can put all the 3 down actually. Just I think that's how it's supposed to be. So I'm targeted now. No. Yes. Trusted. Yeah, targeted.
So we all put it down 1, yeah?
No, you don't have to put it down. Anyway, I'm just
Okay.
thinking it all on me. I think that's how it's supposed to be, even though if you're over there. So I'm very bad now. My reputation is shit, which was my only good attribute. So that's good. Cool. Is there anyone who has an idea for a scene? Following up on a lead. So I'm just going to put a lead here as well. So the crime scene is in the upper crust. Does anyone have any ideas?
No, go on, Paul.
Just how many characters do you need to involve in a scene?
As many or few as you want. Your own character,
Okay.
at least.
Yeah. Okay. Go on, Al.
I was quite wanting a scene with Lucille.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Who want to play? Make be Lucille.
I think Stephen, will you play Lucille?
All right.
And Paul, will you play Irene the maid?
I will indeed be Irene the maid.
Thank you for that. I think this is probably after the debacle in the toilet. The wake has broken up. People have left, and I'm having a conversation with Lucille about the future. Because Lucille, now he's dead. You know, we don't have to keep hiding.
Yeah, Davy. We still need to be careful. You know, if the police suspect anything, it will cause trouble. We can't. I have no alibi, Davy.
Yeah, Irene, get us both a drink. But
Certainly.
we discussed this. You know, I'm your alibi, you're mine. We hadn't, you know, we're fine.
Yes. Yes, as long as they don't look too close. I mean, if I were to marry you right away, our alibis would mean nothing. That would be the perfect motive. We have to keep our relationship discreet until.
Irene, get that drink.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go over and rush in with two very well made cocktails. And I'll say, Lucille, maybe you'd like some of the stuff that calms you down as well. Do you want me to get some from your room?
Not now, Irene. I need a clear head. The police could be here any minute.
Okay, Mom. Okay.
So, Lucille, okay, but you know, we can't keep this going quietly forever.
Not forever, until the police have a better suspect. I mean, once they've nailed it on somebody, then we wait 6 months. We head to Mexico, get a quiet marriage. But we just need to avoid scandal for a little while longer, and then you trust me, don't you?
Of course, Lucille. Of course, I trust you. But I'm nervous too.
Well, for Christ's sake, just keep a calm head. Don't let the police see that you're nervous.
Okay, it's just been a while since I've been on set. You know, I get rusty. And I mean, where were you? you know, I know I'm going to say that you were with me, but where were you?
I was with you.
Yeah, but where were you really?
I was with you.
This sounds like a
That's all you need to know.
I think this
Got
is
it?
probably an investigation or a challenge, Mikkel. I'm not sure which.
investigation. I think this will definitely create a lead if. Yeah, and then you roll. I can roll the opposition die, and you can.
Okay,
roll your...
you'll have to help me with with what I roll. So relevant trace is I think I'm trying to intimidate her. So I'm going to use body. Is that possible? Is that the way this flies?
I'm fine with that. If anyone, no one doesn't. I mean, how are you using your body here?
Well, I'm just physically intimidating her, right? You know, I'm standing over her. I'm a bigger guy than she is, and we both know that. The fact that I've got a gammy leg from the accident doesn't help, because hurt is in the middle of the range, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that's no dice, yeah?
That's means that it's a black die, so it's a less die.
Okay, so oh right, so I roll. You roll the 3 reds. I roll only 1 white.
No, you still roll. I think you still roll 2. I just roll an extra red.
Okay. Well, I'll re-roll the whites now. Oh, hang on. There we go. Reroll selected. A 1 and a 5.
Yeah, so I can choose the 3 best. So I'm gonna do like this.
So is that 1 victory?
Yeah.
1 success? 2 failures?
So here, what you can do is like if you look at the chart, with the failures and stuff, you can also now choose which failure you're gonna have, in a way.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because you're gonna lose 1, so it's gonna be a failure 4 or a failure 2.
Okay. I think I'm going to pin self. I take that means pin self as suspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Because Irene will have seen this.
Yeah. How does this look, you think?
I think that from Irene's point of view, I seem very eager to know exactly where Lucille was.
Oh yeah, I think like
from Irene's point of view, that sounds like I'm preparing a safety net so I can point the finger at her if I need to.
Yeah, I think probably like you see like a small cutscene after it where like Irene goes into like the police station. You don't see what happens, but everyone knows that she's probably tipping the police about you. But of course, she gets paid from Lucille. So what was the name? Lucille. Yeah.
Lucille is the wife. Irene is the maid.
Cool, and your success is 5.
I think that. So is that connection or a random lead? Is that what the 5 means?
It's add a random lead or connection. Yeah.
And mechanically,
so you can either put like a lead anywhere on the map that's not connected to any of the other ones. So the lead we have there is the crime scene, right?
Okay.
And we don't have any other elements.
Okay, so if I made a sticky note, there, and said Lucille has no alibi.
Yeah, so Lucille is our lead here. She's our subject. and you can put it down by the upper crust.
Okay. Ooh.
So, like, you could also then use a victory feature to connect Lucille with the crime scene, for example.
Okay. But
Or
right now, I just leave it hanging there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we have 3 of those connected, then we answer one of the questions. The game is over when we answer 3 of them.
Okay.
Like all the 3 questions.
Okay. Fine.
Oh,
thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Paul.
And I think that's scene. Stephen or Paul, do you have any scene ideas?
Yeah. I got an idea for a scene. So it's night. We're out in the desert, and there in the scene is myself. There is there's Davy. There is Irene, and there is an Englishman called Jeremy. And Mikkel, if you could play Jeremy.
Yes.
And Jeremy is a butler. He is the butler for Lucille. And Stephen, if you could be Irene the maid.
Okay.
And Alan, you are, of course, Davy. And the scene is, it's at night in the desert. The 3 of you are bundled out of the back of a car. And you notice there is one shallow grave dug and a few mounds nearby you can make out in the light of a lantern. And I am stood there with my top's off. I'm in a white vest. I've got a spade. I've clearly dug this hole, and I'm pretty sweaty. And I turn round to you, Mikkel, who is playing Jeremy, and say, "Jeremy, you limey cocksucker! Which one of you fuckers has started dealing with the Southside boys? Lucille and Michael normally get their gear from me, but I haven't done a delivery there in a long time. So one of you hands has sold me out and is buying from the Southside boys. Which one of you fuckers is it?"
Yeah, and I think like Jeremy like lights up a cigarette, and is like, boss, I wouldn't cooperate with those guys. They're dangerous. I'm respectable.
So Jeremy, you limey fuck, you're saying it's one of these boys or girls here. Which one? Is it Irene? Or is it that little cripple, Davy?
Jerry, could I have a word?
Does this look like a fucking negotiation? What you got to say? Because one of you fucks ain't leaving here tonight. Either you, Jeremy, either you, Irene, or you, Davy. So say your piece now, Davy.
Lucille's been getting a little unstable. And
oh shit.
And I think that Michael might have gone round us because he knows that we were your connection to them.
I know nobody big would go and see the Southside boys. It'd be one of you hoods, some servant that's been to see the Southside boys.
Maybe it's Pete the chauffeur. I don't know, but it wasn't us.
My intel says it was one of you. How about you, Irene? You used to be one of my girls back in the day. What do you got to say for yourself?
All I got to say is that, I don't take chances. I'm not going to go behind your back. I never went behind your back.
So who do you think it is, Irene?
I think if somebody, I don't think it's any of these guys. I think you're on the wrong track. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think he was getting stuff at the studio.
I gotta go down the studio in the lots. That's
Look.
bad for business.
Look, I've been down to you guys a few times to fetch stuff, but I go when they tell me to, and they just haven't been telling me to. That's all I know.
Jeremy, what do you know? Who's been going to the South Side, boys?
I mean, I don't. Well, only thing I know is that it's all over town. Like their stuff is the cool stuff now. That's what I know. Somebody cool must have been using it.
My character looks pretty disappointed to hear this coming out of Jeremy, and yeah, I'm gonna reach behind my back and pull out a pistol.
But look, I don't know anything for sure, but Phil Robson, he's been talking to Mike Ziegler a lot. I mean, like I don't know what they've been talking about. It's got something to do with this girl he's managing. I don't know if he's got any connections or not. I don't know if this is it or not. But they were making some kind of deal. That's all I can say.
Okay. Well,
I think I want to call for an investigation roll here.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, clearly I'm using physical intimidation here. Threat of violence.
Yeah.
Now that's my best stat, so I think I'm going to get another die for that.
Yeah.
So let me put into this great machine 3d6, and on blue dice hit submit.
You want to re-roll the red ones, Steven?
I'll do that.
Oh wow.
We are not rolling very well today.
We are not. Yeah, so that means here we'll have you can pair up here. So we have are you pairing up a way that you're only getting losses?
Well, I can't beat any 6.
Well, you can beat
but you could beat the 4 or the 5.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Yes, sorry. Yep, there we go.
And you have a 2-6 defeats here. So you have a 5, which is another random lead or connection. So what is the lead or connection that you get out of this?
I think it is who Jeremy said. Was it not somebody at the studio?
No, it's that. That Hollywood agent, isn't it?
That's the one, the Hollywood agent.
Right. Right. Yeah. That was the lead Irene gave you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna put the agent. Where's the agent from again?
He's Steven's character.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Right.
But,
yeah. I mean, I think
that's not really.
I think I live downtown.
Yeah.
I've got an office downtown, and like I sleep in my office now. I used to have an apartment when I was riding high, but now I'm sleeping in my office.
Cool. Yeah, and you get also to escalate or destroy lead. Yeah, I think so. What happens when you escalate is that a thing happens in one of the districts, that makes the conflict level go up. And when we have
Okay.
3 escalates, the game is also over in that we have failed to find the murderer.
So I've just increased 2 escalations, yeah?
You can either escalate or you can destroy a lead.
Well, we've only got 1 lead. So,
We have 3 leads. We have Phil Robson, the crime scene, and Lucille has no alibi. But we don't have a connection between Lucille has no alibi and the crime scene yet. That's
Oh, I see. Sorry.
well, let's escalate 1, and I think. Well, let's get rid of. Let's give Lucille an alibi. One of those 3. Well, Alan or those 2 NPCs. Somebody's going to have to come up with an alibi for Lucille.
Well, it can't be me, because we know that Davy and she are each other's alibi, in theory at least.
Okay, so somebody else gives her an alibi, which is clearly going to leave you out of the alibi situation.
All right, so maybe Jeremy.
Yep.
Jeremy knows that Davy was not with her. Jeremy knows where she was.
Okay, and he spills the beans.
Right. Okay, Jeremy spills the beans. Right.
Yeah, I think maybe they're having an affair too.
Right. Yeah.
To add some drama here. Cool. Yeah. So we have a new lead, and then with Phil, and also now Speaking of which, it's Phil's turn to have a scene.
All right. Well, I think we need to have I think I'm going to be having a confrontation with Jerry. That seems like the logical next scene, and let's say that it takes place at the Gowanus Yacht Club.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take a creative freedom and just like describe the club a little bit. I think it's like this one of like this. It's very much like velour. Here it's like very. It's a bar with like there's a bartender and there's a guy who goes out to the drinks. Like you order for table. It's very like fancy. There's a lot of like red colors, like warm colors. It's something that we would call like tacky maybe in this States, but like still in it's expensive tacky. And there's definitely like a lot of like expensive cocktails and stuff. Yeah. So now I'm gonna leave you alone with your scene.
All right. So I think like I'm sort of I'm in a corner booth. There's this jazz band playing, and I guess Jerry slides into the booth beside me.
Sounds good. So I'll say. So who else is there? So is Esmeralda there?
Yeah, Esmeralda is circulating.
Yeah, I mean she is not in the conversation really, but I mean, yeah, she's there listening.
Right. I mean, she can drop into the scene at any minute.
Okay. Phil, I have some information that you've been dealing with those Southside boys.
That's great. Jerry, I don't have money to deal with the Southside boys.
I hear you've been putting gear in the direction of Michael.
Michael? He gets his stuff from you.
He used to get his stuff from me. He ain't had no stuff from me in a long time. And the word from his crew is that it was you dealing with the Southside boys.
No way, Jerry. You know me. I know you for a long time. I would never go around your back like that.
That's what I'd like to think.
Why, Jerry, why would I do a thing like that? What sense does that make?
I think you've been trying to cut me out. Get a better deal.
Get a better Jerry. You just said that I was doing this for Michael. Why would
start working for Michael? Trying to shift gear from the Southside boys to some of my contacts? That ain't good for business, Phil.
And I know that. That's why I wouldn't do it.
You know, but you've been implicated. I gotta show people. I got a reputation.
What do you mean by implicated?
Well, Michael's servants, Lucille's servants now, they sort of hinted it was you. Now, I gotta do something. We're in a public place.
Okay. Okay. Keep your voice down. Look, what can I do to satisfy you? I'm telling you. I'm giving it to you straight. I haven't been dealing with the Southside boys at all. I mean, I've been talking to Jerry a lot, but that's because I've got a girl he's interested in. He's going to set her up with a movie deal. That's all I've been talking about, honest.
Is she movie material, or is she material for me?
She thinks she can be a big star. I think she can be a small star.
Phil, they all think they can be big stars. There ain't room for too many big stars.
But that was the deal I was working out with Jerry. He would get her a starring role in some B movies. We were gonna tell her they were gonna be A movies. I mean, B movies. She does well. Maybe she moves up to A movies, but I mean, it sort of depends how cooperative she was with Michael. You know how that's that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I know how it works. I know how it works in this town.
Yeah, and
just flipping out of character. Can we use this challenge role? Because clearly, Phil's trying to get out of a situation here. I'm trying to I've got a reputation to uphold. So can we use the challenge mechanics here?
Sure. I mean, let's see. Yeah, the problem here is that you're against each other. Like, it's 2 player characters. So I have a little problem with like seeing how you would do that.
Okay, challenge is sort of for players against NPCs or obstacles.
Situation, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But sure, I can like, I think Esmeralda like comes in at this point, and she like, so I didn't mean to overhear what you were saying. Just like after you said calm the voice down or be a bit lower, and I think she like, you know, I heard that they've locked their gates up in the hills. No more drugs there. They're afraid. Mobsters, I hear. And she like looks over at Jerry.
We all got to make a business. We all got to make some money, doll.
And I think like she like frowns at that and says, "Not you, Southsiders."
True.
There's rumors going around.
True. They ain't good for business. They don't know how the rules sit. Ain't that right, Phil? There's rules in this game that must be obeyed.
So now, Jerry, you think Michael was breaking those rules?
I definitely think Michael was breaking those rules.
Tell it to me straight. Were you the one that knocked him off?
I didn't kill Michael. He's good for business. Well, he used to be good for business.
Yeah, it's that used to be that concerns me.
I'd have taught him a lesson. But I wouldn't kill the guy. And I definitely wouldn't kill him on his throne. He'd have been out in the desert, buried.
Okay.
What kind of a man kills a man on a toilet? There ain't no way to die.
Okay. You convinced me, Jerry. I'm sure you're straight, but I'm telling you, I'm straight too. I had nothing to do with this.
Is this the point where there's an investigation role to determine whether there's enough, at least in Jerry's mind, to link Phil?
I mean, it's Phil's scene.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Or vice
Right,
versa. Then.
Right. So okay. So I think I need to set up some sort of a clue here. So it's uh, Esmeralda, help me out. Michael was here at the club a lot, right?
Yeah, he was.
I mean, was he talking? Was he talking to any of your girls in particular? Anybody who's got a link to the South Side Boys?
To the Southside Boys. Oh yeah. I think. Yeah, there's this girl. She's called Jennifer.
Yeah, can you bring Jennifer over? That Jerry have a talk with her?
I mean, actually, she hasn't been in for like a week. She hasn't been showing up to her shifts.
You mean since Michael died?
Do you know where she lives?
She lives down in the Skid Row, in the Tenants.
Okay.
I
Okay,
haven't seen
Jerry.
her since. I think it was even like a day before, maybe. I don't remember. It's
Okay.
Do you want to introduce her friend, the cigarette girl, Diane?
Sure. Bring. Sure. Let's talk to Diane. Diane and Jennifer were close, right?
yeah. How are you? Yeah, sure. And I think like she go gets Diane. And let's see. This seems like a better place to roll the investigation roll and see what gets out of Diane.
All right. So, I mean, I think I'm trying to figure this out, so I'm rolling mind. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Right. So that's three dice because it's my best stat.
Yeah.
And
You wanna roll the red dice, Paul?
Yeah, sure. So, do I just re-roll selected?
Yeah, you can do that.
oh, good grief.
Noir is full of patsies.
Yes, 1, 2, 2. So re-roll the red dice.
Did you re-roll, Paul?
You need to highlight them first, Paul.
Okay.
Click on them, and they should go. Aha!
There we go. That's not too bad.
Okay, so I could actually beat one of them.
Yeah.
What a great roll. Yeah.
So yeah, so hit on a 2 is heal condition, and misses are. Okay, so I guess the misses are both 4s. That is damage condition. So the net is that I take 2 damage and I heal 1.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I think I'll move.
I think you're looking more guilty by the minute.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. So I'll drop my rep by 1. So that goes from suspected to targeted.
Oh yeah.
And leave everything else as it is. So yeah. So I think Jerry is still suspicious of me, but he's
I'm more suspicious.
Right. But he agrees that we'll check out Jennifer, but he's going to drag me along.
Yeah,
with him.
definitely.
He's keeping an eye on me.
Cool.
Okay, and before the next scene, can we just have a couple minutes for a quick bathroom break?
Yes, I was going to
good idea.
That. We'll be back at 43, so 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yep, sure.
And we're back in the room.
Yeah, it's time for some new scenes. All right, so I think it's my scene again.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see. So look at our board. I think I wanna find Jennifer with Esmeralda in Skid Row. I think maybe I think I'm there alone actually. But someone can play Jennifer when she hopefully maybe opens the door. So how this works also is that this is something I didn't explain properly before, but these things we define, they're also something we own, so that we are the ones who are describing the fiction related to it. So for example, now that we have the scene in the Skid Row, Stephen, you were the one who defined the tenants and stuff. So you have some extra like narrative power in terms of like defining what is there and like what's going on. So for example, when I knock on the door, maybe you're probably like the right person to ask if there's someone who's comes out or stuff like that, for example.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you see Esmeralda. She's in this like brown, like very like covering coat, and she has like this has sunglasses, of course, going into like one of these like big tenants building. It's probably like a place that is not used to frequent, and she's like done a very bad job of trying to look inconspicuous, but you know it doesn't help really when she has the expensive hat and the coat, and everything looks shiny and new and expensive. So fails pretty much at that. And I think like how does the what does the corridor look like in the tenant?
I think and I think there's an elevator in the building. It's one of those ones that's got like a wire cage around it, but the elevator is out of order, and the sign, it looks like it's been out of order for a while. So you have to go up this stairway that's just kind of dirty and grimy, and there's a little dirty grimy hallway on each floor with narrow apartments on both sides. I mean, this is almost like it. This is almost like a residential hotel. It was built in the 20s, and it has seen better days. So this is a place where people who come from out of town, they get a room here until they get their break at the studio, and then they never get their break at the studio.
Yeah, and I think like walking down the corridor, you hear like from like the next door of Jennifer, you hear like this person shouting very loud, and inside the apartment, and Esmeralda almost like shivers a little bit and like goes like a little bit to
there's this loud argument in Chinese. You can't tell what they're saying, but it's coming from one of the apartments.
Mm-hmm. And like you see the door of Jennifer, and I think like there's a name on there that isn't Jennifer, but she knows that's the place. It's just from their like a previous tenant, something like George Hall or something like that. And Esmeralda like knocks, He looks down like at her notebook, and you see like George Hall written there, and she knocks.
And you hear her voice. You're early, honey. Just a minute. And a minute later, Jennifer comes to the door, and she's dressed in a silk bathrobe, and nothing else. And she flings the door open, and then she sees you there, and she just sort of gasps.
Yeah, and I think Esmeralda like takes this opportunity to like just walk into the apartment past her. So Jennifer,
Yeah, boss, what are you doing here?
I heard you've been mixed up in some. There's rumors going on about you, Jennifer, and you're not at work. I'm worried. I had to come check it on you.
What was the name of the cigarette girl? Was that Marie?
Diane.
Diane. Yeah, I thought. I mean, I told Diane I had some personal business. It's you don't need. I mean, gosh, she had you haven't missed me that much, have you? Hey.
And I think like Esmeralda like turns towards Jennifer, like still probably like standing in the doorway ish, and like, oh no, close the door, Jennifer.
Yeah. I mean, I swing the door shut. What's this all about? I'm really sorry. I thought Marie would have told you.
I heard you've been selling drugs, Jennifer, in my establishment.
No, boss, I would never do that in your club. I mean, I just been talking to people there.
That's pretty much the same. It doesn't matter if you sell it outside the door. If you make the deal in my club, you're selling drugs in my club, dear.
I wasn't making deals in your club. I was making contacts.
Well, one of your contacts has been murdered, and your name has floated up. I don't know what to think about it, Jennifer. You should tell me anything I should know, so I can protect you.
Oh, boss, that's very kind of you, but I don't need protecting. I've got there are folks who've got it who. The folks that I'm dealing with, they've got ins with the police. Nobody's going to hassle me. Nobody's going to hassle the club. You don't worry. There's not going to be any trouble.
Yeah, and I think this is probably like a good place to do the investigation. Maybe yeah. Let's see what the results are. But I think you just served me a good opportunity for a lead, at least.
Okay. I'll roll the opposition dice.
We need a good roll now. See.
Oh yes, for once my bad rolls work in our favor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't want a one failure because that was death, I think. Let's see. So yeah, let's see. That's gonna be
Right. I mean, well, death could be it could be like somebody shoots Jennifer through the window or something. That could be interesting.
well, it does say your character is killed.
Oh, okay.
It would also be interesting, I guess. But
yeah,
let's
early yet.
So pin, self, and damage rep is my my loss there then. Yeah, I think pin a new lead to the board. Your character. Oh, my character. I am now in. Yes. I am in downtown. So I am a lead. We're all leads here now. And my reputation goes down by yet another one. So now I am damned. Oh.
Gee.
Yeah, it's not going well for me. And then there is 3 success and a 6 success. So we get to find an answer or add and connect a new lead. So I can do both. Cool. And then there's add a random leader connection as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say I think the random lead is going to be the Southside Gang. That's about time that they became a lead.
Yeah.
And they're down in Southside Boys. And then I'm going to put Jennifer here as well. And I'm going to connect the two. Like this. So now I generated 3 leads. What a good job. And my reputation is shit. I think how this looks is pretty much like... I think actually that... like during the night or something, there is somebody some gangsters, I think like from the Southside Boys, it thought to be the Southside Boys that come and torch my place, and it's like thought of as a it was thought of as like a revenge thing for the death of Michael. Like it's that I'm clearly involved, so that some mobsters are doing like a hit on me because of it, my role in it. That's like the gossip. So you heard like, I think it's like you probably see the scene in movies, probably like some kind of like from like a newspaper stand or something like that, where you see like a yacht club burned down to the ground, connected with mobster retaliation for death of Michael Ziegler. And like you see like a small commentary under like from Esmeralda Sanchez that I don't understand, I'm totally innocent. Cool. So that's the scene. Is there anyone who has an idea for a scene?
Yes, I'd like a scene where Davy meets with Dr. Miles Winter, surgeon to the stars and Michael Ziegler's doctor. And Paul, can you play Dr. Winter? And I imagine this is on the veranda of Dr. Winter's Hollywood Beverly Hills mansion, a little bit further down the hill from the Zieglers. And this is Davy trying to find out how exactly Michael died.
Okay, how well do you know my character?
I know that I'm his connection to Jerry Cohen for drugs, which he then distributes to his patients.
So you get the drugs for Doctor?
Yes. And I'm looking to use that as leverage, because it would be very unfortunate, Dr. Winter, if the newspapers were to find out that the surgeon to the stars was actually part of a drug network across Beverly Hills.
Davy, there's no reason for you to spread these kinds of rumors. We've been in business for a long time. What do you want? Do you want me to perform some surgery on Lucille, make her young again?
No, no. What I need to know, Dr. Winter, is how did Michael die?
Call me Kenneth Davey.
How did Michael die, Miles?
Well, the autopsy said he had a stroke on the toilet.
Now, in order to cut to the chase here, I suggest I go straight to investigation roll.
Sure.
And I suppose what I'm not going for physical intimidation. I'm trying to reason with him that he has more to lose by not telling me. He has more to lose by not telling me than by telling me. So I'm hoping to use mind. Does that seem reasonable?
Well, he's a doctor. Surely he's a bit wily as well. But yeah, sounds fair to me.
Okay, so mind is my highest characteristic. So I think I'm rolling 3 white die.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll the red ones.
Okay, there you go. 6, 1, and 4.
Well, here you got the choice.
Oh, right. So
I got the exact same.
yeah, you did. So ties are losses, yes?
There are losses, but I also noticed something. There's something different here as well. Just give me a sec.
You could break a principle though, Alan, that will turn any tie into a win. And I think you've got quite a few ties there, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking of is 6 to 4 is a win, or 6 to 6, or they're all ties. But what does break a principle mean? Never betray my own.
Yeah. So pretty much you have to show how your character betrays their own, in a way. What does that mean to you, that principle?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it means that I don't betray people in the same circumstances as me, which probably means that I'm not actually prepared to dump on Dr. Winter.
No, he didn't do it. He's not involved in that way. You know that.
But he does do the drug dealing, because that's narratively fixed now, isn't it?
You could betray your principal by threatening to inform on him to the police.
And that's what I'm doing, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. So we'll see you actually do that.
So that means then that I arrange these as ties. And does that mean I break all 3?
Yes.
Okay, so and then my dice count as the hits, yeah?
Yeah.
So answer or connected lead. So he tells me the answer to my question, which is how did he die? Do I do that, or does Paul, as Dr. Winter, do that?
I mean, you can offer it to him, but you're free to do that. It's your prerogative for.
Because I think he died because his drugs were the drugs he took earlier that evening were supposed to be uppers, but they weren't clean drugs.
Okay, so yeah, he wanted a bit of speed, but what he got was a bit of fentanyl.
So does that look like a connected lead that says dirty drugs to crime scene?
Well, I think doesn't it do one of the answers of how? How is drugs?
But we can't categorically answer the how question without 3 connected leads in one area. Is that right, Mikkel?
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose what I'm so if I put dirty drugs in here, And yeah, so that's a connection to the crime scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got 3 answers or connected leads. Yes.
You got what was the dice you got?
If I've converted all 3 rolls.
Yeah, but they're not all 6s. They're the dice that.
Oh, I see.
Are
okay.
there.
Yeah, right.
So there's 1 6 that was on find an answer
Right.
or add a connect new lead, and you can also add a random lead or connection.
Okay.
And also de-escalate the situation.
I'm going to connect then, if I've understood this right. I want to connect Lucille to the crime scene, because what Dr. Winter tells me is that he supplied those uppers to Lucille earlier that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Cool. So she has an alibi with the doctor.
She has an alibi for the time when he was murdered. But what this does is to set up the possibility that she gave him the drugs earlier in the day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that means we have normally evidence that was ruined wouldn't be able to be connected in this way, but for time saving purpose, I think that makes sense to just do it like this.
And then the third one is, oh, sorry.
The third one is the escalation. So, and there's just one that's escalated.
And I have to say, I'm not entirely certain what the mechanical effect of escalation is. But well, I think we've only got 1 escalation on the board, haven't we?
Yes.
So the upper crust is no longer escalated.
No. So that means they're buying drugs again now. Not longer afraid.
Oh, sorry. What happened then? Hang on. Let me. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You do it, Michael.
Yeah. Cool. Now we have also one of the answers, because we have 3 connected clues here. That means you get to answer one of the questions. Why was it done? How was it done? And who did it? Like one of them.
The obvious one is how. Mm-hmm. And it was by 30 uppers given before the party.
Yeah, so it's also established that they are like dirtied on purpose.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that's deliberately.
Cool. Yeah. So
no noir murders happen by accident, do they?
No. Just making sure. Stephen or Paul, do you have an idea for a scene?
Well, I think we still Jerry still wants to drag Phil to see Jennifer or the cigarette girl's name, Diane. He wants to get information about who's been supplying Michael with the drugs. So I think that's a natural scene to do.
So who's there? Phil and.
Yeah. I think it's like Phil and Jerry, and I guess we're going to Jennifer's apartment. We got Diane. We're dragging Diane along with us to Jennifer's apartment. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I can play Jennifer then, and you're Diane.
I play Diane. Okay. It's just a line here. All my American women sound the same. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, and I think we're in a taxi cab, and like Jerry has got me in the middle where I can't really move, and he's like got this gun pressed to my side. Like, okay. Sorry, Paul. Can you turn your volume up a bit?
Oh yeah, sure.
I think maybe you took your micro. Did you take your microphone like up?
Good point. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll just sort of say you need to stay there, Phil. No funny business.
I know better than to try anything with you, Jerry. Look, this is all a mistake. We'll talk to Jennifer. We'll get it sorted out.
Let's hope she's got some answers.
Jerry, I am hurt that you would think so little of me.
It's just business, Phil. It's just business.
That's what I mean.
So
If you thought I was double crossing you, hey, that's how this town is. But you're accusing me of being a bad businessman. There's no reason. There's no business sense in what you're accusing me of. That's hurtful, Jerry. That is really hurtful.
Word on the street is that you cut a good deal with those Southside boys, and now we hear that
What on the street, Jerry?
There's some dodgy shit they've been peddling, which is bad for business.
That's what I've been saying. Why would I get involved with these South Side boys when it's everybody knows you can be trusted, Jerry? Why would I do business with people who are peddling bad drugs? That's just no.
Were you and Michael trying to squeeze me out?
Why would I do that, Jerry?
I think you want to be somebody. But I'm the big man in town. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to stay.
Jerry, I don't want to hustle. I want to stick to my own business. Well, I don't want to get muscle into yours.
Let's see what this Jennifer broad's got to say.
Okay, well, here's the building right here. Let's go up and let's talk to her.
Okay, you lead the way.
Absolutely. So we get out. I walk up to the elevator. There's like this out of order sign, and I try pushing the button anyway.
Diane just lives around the corner, so now she's shown you where Jennifer lives. She'll just head off around the corner if that's okay.
Jerry, are you going to stop her?
My business ain't with her, Phil. My business is with you.
Okay. Right. So yeah. Okay. So I walk up to the elevator and I push the button, and suddenly it starts the elevator starts moving down, even though there's this out of order sign. Like, there's this rattling, clattering sound. It's like I open up the door and I get in, and
I'll follow you in, and
right.
I'll have the gun sort of against you, but reasonably conspicuous or inconspicuous, even.
Yeah. So I close the door. The elevator starts up. This place has certainly seen better days. I can remember when buildings like this, they had their own elevator boys.
Times are changing, Phil. I wouldn't even house some of my girls in a shithole like this.
Yeah, but God, can you imagine? You've been in this town a long time. Did you think it would come to the days when people would be operating their own elevators?
I wouldn't have ever thought it, but times are changing, Phil. Times are changing, and we got to change with them. If not, we'll be out of business.
I think like the elevator.
You got a good point. You got a good point there, Jerry. But we still got to trust the people who were there at the beginning. I trust you. Why don't you trust me? I mean, Jerry, haven't I always been straight with you? Have I ever steered you astray?
Phil, as I said earlier, it's just business. That's all it is. But I don't know that much about you, Phil. You're just a man that's bit down on his luck. You'll probably do anything to get some coin and get some fame.
And I think like the elevator comes to a halt, and there's like this woman with like a lot of like kids, and she's shouting to them in Italian or something. And like when she sees you in the elevator, like even standing there for a second looking at her, she's like starting to like gesturing with her hand, shouting at you to get out of the elevator.
Get the fuck out of the way, bitch!
And she's like just like swearing something and like shaking her head, and you see her like head go down in the shaft.
Take your greasy, shitty kids somewhere else. We're here on business.
Okay, I mean, I think, but this is our floor, Jerry. We can let her have the elevator.
Just get her out. Get her out, man.
Right? Yeah.
Put her in the
Right.
fucking elevator.
I'm getting out of the elevator.
Yeah, I shall follow.
Right. Right. It's
Yeah, and you're in the
and it's like my mistake. We got one more flight. We go up the stairs.
Okay, we'll.
Sorry about that, Jerry. I really thought this was our floor.
That's okay. Let's just get this out of the way. I don't want to stay around this shithole any further.
Yeah, I think it smells like piss.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta have a smell of piss in a stairwell.
Okay, yeah. So we go down. Yeah. So we get to the next floor. We go down the hallway, and we get to Jennifer's apartment, and the door's been busted wide open.
Ooh. Well, I will turn the pistol away from you and face into the room.
Yeah, I think there's like there's a window that's I think you hear like the shattering of glass actually, and like somebody moving in the apartment.
Okay, yeah. Like we go inside, and like it's been ransacked. It's just it's a complete mess. It's like the mattress has been torn open and tossed on the floor. All the books have been thrown off the shelves. And
Has somebody just left? Can we hear somebody?
Yeah. I think like just as you walk in, you hear like the shattering of glass of a window in the kitchen, and some like sounds.
I'm gonna say to Phil, you fucking stay here, man, and secure this fucking location. And I'm gonna pursue whoever is in or leaving by the bathroom window.
Yeah, I think this because I wanted to see how the challenge roll worked, so now we're putting a challenge in here.
Yes, I think that would work very well.
So yeah, your relevant trait die here is probably like body, right? Being quick to the bathroom.
Okay, that is my top stat, so I'm vigorous.
Yeah, and I'm gonna roll one black die. Yeah. So you roll 2 white dice and I roll 1 black. And I roll a 3.
Okay, I hit roll and there we go. I got a 6 and a 1.
Yeah. So that means you have 1 success.
Yeah.
What happens though if otherwise?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
So you compare the highest white and black die. You win by 2 or more. Narrate success and keep the white die for the investigation roll.
otherwise you'll be offered a bargain. So what happens here is that we can say like a trade-off. So it's pretty much like we can offer a bargain. For example, that yeah, you get there in time, but you cut yourself on the glass.
Got you. Did I not win by more than 2?
He won by more than 2, so he
yeah.
just narrates the success. There's no bargain.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw a 1 and a 6 there. Oh well.
Yeah, there was a 1 and a 6, but he keeps the highest one, which is a 6, and compares it to your roll, which is a 3. So he beat your roll by 3.
Oh, right, like that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I discard my 1.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's the 3 against the 6, 1 by 2 or more. Okay, so yeah, outside the bathroom, there's one of those old-fashioned fire escapes, and this guy's he's going down each flight. I'm pursuing him. And then he lowers the final set of ladders going to the floor. Just as he's climbed down the ladder, I'm just going to leap onto the ladder myself, but not climb down. I'm going to slide down. And basically, just as he reaches the ground level, I'm going to sort of like drop onto him and crunch him to the floor. And then I'm going to pick him up by the scruff of the neck and slam him against the wall. And this is a weaselly-looking Hispanic dude. Yeah, right greasy hair, very short. covered in pot marks, with really bad breath and dirty teeth. And he starts saying, "No habla, no habla, no habla," and I'm saying, "You fucking speak, you dirty spick." Yeah, so I'm going to try and squeeze him for some information.
Investigate away. So
Okay.
here, you get 2 white and 1 from the victory from the challenge here.
Okay,
And
and
also
now one for my trait as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw 4 white dice, and somebody else can throw the. That looks like. Oh yeah, we got to forget the 1. That was something else. Okay, so somebody needs to throw 3 red dice.
Yeah, Steven, you can roll the 3 red dice.
Yeah, this is so you get to assign how it looks, don't you, Stephen?
Right. So that's right. I mean, I guess I wanted to have 3 successes there, so 2 6s and a 4.
Oh wow, that's pretty.
Right. So
well rolled.
Okay, so
You get.
I think
find how to connect a new lead. 2 of them actually.
right. All right, I think this guy that I think this guy that Jerry caught, he has. I think Jerry drags him back up to the room, and we search him, and we find some love letters that Michael wrote to Jennifer.
So the lead here is love letters.
Right.
They're connected to Jennifer.
Right.
What do they say?
I mean, they're from Michael, and it's like he's saying how much he's in love with her, and he's promising to divorce Lucille.
Cool.
Right. And yeah, and I think that's. I mean, we've already got Jennifer connected to the South Side boys.
Yeah. So now you also have, if you want, you can also find an answer here for you can add a new connected to another one.
Right. How about we connect the South Side boys to Dr. Winter?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's like turns out that Doc Winter is actually the one who's been cutting Jerry out.
The love letters or the Southside boys?
The South Side boys.
Yeah. Cool. There you go. And then the last one was a 4, so you get to add a random or like not either a new connection or a new.
What about Dr. Winter to the dirty drugs?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, because these three have been used. Like we used these to find an answer already.
Can we change the color of them?
Yeah, sure. Which? Oh yeah, we can do that.
The 3 that are linked.
Yeah.
The 3 we've used already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we are having 4 here. Cool. And 2 unconnected ones up there. That's us unconnected.
Right. So we've established how he died. So we still need to establish who and why. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So so let's establish who. It's like Dr. Winter took a payoff to give him dirty drugs.
Cool. Dr. Winter did it. We don't, pick a payoff. How does that look when we find it out? Like, is it do you connect it there? How does it look when you figure this out?
Right.
It's got to be that this guy has spilled the beans.
Right. Right. It's like.
Is he Dr. Winter's pool boy?
Gardener. Yep.
That would give him the knowledge, wouldn't it?
Yeah. He was just like, I think he completely like panics, and he's like, I just did what I was told.
Okay. Yeah. It's like.
Or is he one of the Southside boys? That would be simpler because we've got a connection now between Southside boys and Winter. If this was just one of the Southside boys,
it's one of the one of the Southside boys. It's like he's the connection to Dr. Winter and Jennifer. He's trying to he's trying to get these love letters. He's trying to get these love letters to, maybe these are love letters from Jennifer to Dr. Winter.
Yeah.
And he was trying,
but she wouldn't have copies, would she?
Or to Jennifer from Dr. Winter. Right. It's he was using her to get information about Michael. It's like, yeah. Oh, that was what was going on. It's like Dr. Winter was playing around with Jennifer behind Michael's back.
Okay.
Well, we don't know the why yet, do we? We can speculate on the why.
Yeah. We don't know the why, but it's like Dr. Winter was substituting these drugs from the Southside boys for the stuff that Jerry was providing.
Yeah. And the Southside boys have retrieved the love letters from Dr. Winter to Jennifer.
Right.
Presumably to just keep him out the picture.
Yeah, that's what we'll see.
Right.
Failing to do that.
Yeah. These letters from Jennifer, they were the only evidence that there was any connection with the Southside boys.
Yeah.
Because Jennifer is definitely tied to the Southside boys. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So, Mikkel, does that mean Southside boys, Jennifer, and love letters need to change color because we've used them up now? As connected.
Did we use we have 4 things here that are connected? I think Dr. Winter, the Southside boys, and Jennifer probably.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and then for the last scene of this round, Paul.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna have the burnt remains of the club, the Guano Yacht Club.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have Esmeralda there. I'll be there. And there will be a couple of detectives. We'll have Detective Michael Ironside. And
Bags me Ironside.
You can be Ironside. He will have legs, though. Yes. Unless you want him to be in a chair. Do you want him in the chair?
No. He's still the 50s.
Still the 50s. He's and the other copper will be Kenneth Noisewater.
Yeah, call me Kenny.
Kenny Noisewater. Okay. And I'll let you two decide whether you are clean cops or bad cops.
Well, the fact that you are there suggests that this is not a straightforward investigation. Because, you know, the opening line for this should be, you know, just stick to the facts, man. Stick to the facts.
Yeah, so I think so. Let's be putting the squeeze on Esmeralda, and you two are a bit dodgy.
Okay, Kenny. You play good cop. I'll play bad cop. How does that fly?
All right, but I got to be bad cop next time.
Okay. Well, no, you be bad cop now. If you're really keen to be bad cop, Steve.
No. Go ahead. Yeah. All right.
I'll just hover in the background while you two lay on the heat.
So you're
Esmeralda.
here by accident, it appears. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Esmeralda. Why'd you burn the club down?
Hey, hold on a second, partner. We don't know that you burned the club down. I mean, sure, there are a few fire code violations here, but everybody has a few fire code violations. Doesn't mean that it was deliberate. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if she's got a good explanation, she'll tell us. You must have an idea. You must. I mean, this was definitely arson. You must know. Anybody be making any threats lately, Esmeralda?
Well, I have certainly not been making any threats to my own establishment. That's for certain. And she looks over at this is obviously a ploy to dirty my reputation. I haven't. And she looks over at you, Jerry, probably like.
I want to say, Esmeralda, it seems you've been playing both sides, and your reputation's got as burnt as your club hair.
That's an interesting remark. Both sides. What's the other side?
There's the right side, and then there's the south side.
Come on, Kenny, let's not be distracted. So look, Esme, we know the club is burnt down. We know that you was breaking fire regulations. We can send you away for this. You'll never see a penny of the insurance. So just come clean. What do you know about all this?
I think she looks over at Jerry and is like, I can't believe you're doing this.
It's just business, Esmeralda. It's just business.
Yeah, I think this is maybe like the investigation role here.
Yeah, so yeah, let's apply some heat.
So this is you're the player character investigating, Jerry, I think.
Yep. And I think Esmeralda is opposing.
With the regular 3 die?
Well, with 2 coppers here, I'm not applying direct physical violence to you. So I'm happy for somebody... 3, that would give me 3 dice, but if somebody says it would be more either mind, heart, or rep, I mean, would we say it's heart? Sort of, you know, friendship, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, justice must be done. That means you're both guilty. Where does that stand on the the rank order?
It's let's see. Guilty is 1 extra black die. But you also get extra white die from having an answer. We have found answers already about the how and the who, which means you get an extra white die.
Okay.
So who's the active player here? Is it Paul
Jerry.
for doing the investigation?
Yeah. I mean, I don't roll with anything. It's just regular dice.
Okay, but so you can roll the opposition, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll. I don't know what I've done there. Maybe I didn't do anything. I want to re-roll 3 white dice, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hit. Yeah, I've got dice all over the screen here. I'm not too sure what happened there.
I mean, do you want to just clear the board and start rolling dice again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dice a la Zubida-Platz. Okay, so from me, 3 white dice. Here we go.
I have 4 reds. Oh wow.
Okay. Let me see. That's fine. I'm gonna beat your 3 with a 6, and I'll lose 2.
Yeah. So first you can find an answer or add and connect a new lead.
Okay, I think there is some evidence at the scene. So let's say some burnt paperwork in Spanish linking Esmeralda to the Southside Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, scrub that. Totally scrub that. There are burnt copies of the love letters linking Esmeralda to the love letters.
You can also make a new lead because you only made a connection now.
Okay. And I think Esmeralda will give up a Jose, a Southside boy.
Cool. Yeah. And I think this Jose is actually like an actor or something. He lives in the upper crust.
Yes, yes.
Which is surprising. Cool. So that's a round again now.
And we want some escalation, don't we? Or destroy a lead.
Yeah.
So let's have escalation in the Skid Row and escalation in upper crust, please.
So how does this look?
So this looks a bit like gang warfare in Skid Row. And I think we could easily return to, because of the gang warfare, there's a lack of drugs in the upper crust.
Yeah. People have there's a lot of like police and stuff there as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got a gang warfare going on between my crew and the Southside Boys in Skid Row.
Yeah. So this is now like our 3rd round of scenes. Is there anyone who has an idea for a scene for this next one?
This connection between Esmeralda and the love letters. This was copies of the love letters at the club. Yeah.
Yep.
So the burned remains.
Yes.
I'm very keen because I have a suspicion that Phil Robson's the only person with regular access to a Xerox machine. So I'm thinking that maybe Phil and Esmeralda need a scene. because I think probably that is the Xerox machine that was used to make copies. I'm not speculating on why they were copied, who asked who to copy them, or how the originals were obtained. But I'm interested to see Phil and Esmeralda talk about the fact that the police and Jerry now know that copies were made of the love letters.
So it's your scene, Alan, yeah?
Oh, I.
Well, you've just described a scene, so.
I have.
But how are you going to place yourself in it? That's the problem.
Can I do that, Mikko?
I mean, we can also. I mean, it's an idea for a scene. We can just be Esmeralda and Phil in the scene as well.
Yeah, but I don't want to drop it on you two if it means I can't have any blowback from it.
Right. I mean, we can figure out maybe Davey is coming to my office to confront me about this. Maybe you heard about it through your contacts. It's like, what are these love letters from?
Well,
how about this? You two are Esmeralda and Phil are lounging at the pool at
nighttime, Paul.
Oh, good. Hey, you've still got a pool. Okay, you're at the pool drinking cocktails at Lucille's pool.
Yeah, but I'm trying to tie it into the Xerox. I think it may be time for us to resolve the fact that yes, you were my agent.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we can have the scene in my office with you and Esmeralda.
Mm-hmm.
So I've come to the office ostensibly to talk about the fact that maybe I was that big client who was going to be a big star.
Right. Yeah, you were one of my big clients. This is
before the accident. So I'm coming to talk to you about, were I to come into some money, is there a way to get me back in the business? And maybe Esmeralda comes with the news that the Xerox machine copies, blah blah blah.
No, I think like when you open the door to the office, I think like you're not the person who knocks. I think Esmeralda is already there.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of like well, not shouting but saying very loudly to Phil, like, where did you get the idea from to deliver those letters by like mail? I mean, now when the thing burnt down, they were still.
You told me to send them to the club. I sent them to the club.
Not by post. And I think like we both turned around and it's like.
I was going to let the conversation get a bit further before I opened the door.
Sure. But you open the door whenever, yeah, sure.
Right. Look. I didn't know your club was going to burn down. I didn't know anyone was going to find those letters. Come on, you can't blame me for that.
Well,
look, nobody knows these letters mean anything. The police aren't going to look into some affair between a showgirl and a doctor. Why would they even care about that?
And the door opens. Given the circumstances, Phil, they might be interested.
Davey, buddy.
And the setup here is you don't know how much Davey heard.
Yeah. Right.
What the fuck is that?
I mean, Esmeralda, you know Davey, right? Scruffy Scrubs from the old Child Star. This guy was huge.
Oh, that's why I remembered you.
Hi, Miss Sanchez. Am I interrupting something?
Not at all. Always glad to see you. Are you thinking getting back in the business? You had charisma. You were athletic. You had comic timing. He was the tops. He was the absolute best.
I kind of tap the gammy leg. Not as athletic as I was, Phil.
No, don't worry about the leg. We film you from the waist up.
You dropped me like a hot potato after the accident.
You were suing one of the top studio heads in the business. I had no choice. I mean, I got other clients. I got to think of them. I can't be involved in a lawsuit like that. I mean, there were no hard feelings.
There may have been
no hard feelings.
Side, Phil. But hey,
it's water under the bridge. Water under the bridge.
But so tell me about the Doctor and the Showgirl. As we're old friends.
Oh well, that's nothing. That's just gossip. Look, we are.
Phil, this town runs on gossip. Spill.
It's nothing. It's nothing. Just some respectable stuffed shirt. Esmeralda's business relies on discretion. You understand that, Davey, right?
Yeah,
I can't be in the position of betraying confidence. I'm sorry you overheard that. I mean, Esmeralda. I'm sorry you overheard that. But look, David, this is nothing that I can. This is nothing that I can share. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but look, Miss Sanchez. I just heard you talking about the showgirl and the producer. Michael was the producer. He had an eye for the showgirls. I'm just putting two and two together here, like maybe a policeman would.
Well, he likes showgirls, okay? Nothing wrong with that.
So it was Michael. Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe this is a good place for you to roll for your investigation.
Okay. So, again, I think probably I'm trying to outwit you here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with sharp mind.
Yeah.
Which is my highest. So I think that is an extra dice.
Yeah, and you also get an extra dice for that we already have answers.
Okay, so I've got
the case.
Oops. Oh, hang on. Just a slight emergency. There we are. Okay. So I need another one dice. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 white dice and 3.
One white dice. Okay.
All right, and I rolled the 3 red dice.
So that's that one, and I'll re-roll the other 3.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, but you only get to use 3 dice still. So you 3 best dice.
Right. So you're going to have 2 victories and a failure.
Yeah. Okay. So pairing up. Oops, a daisy. Okay. So 2 victories and a failure. And the failure is that my 4 or the opposition 6?
That's 6.
Okay.
So escalate or destroy elite.
I think I'll go for escalation, and I think that gang war is moved into downtown.
Okay, I think with 3 escalations that would finish it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But you may also get the answer why. So in some ways you win and lose. So that's okay.
So at the end of this round of that's when we make a judgment. Well, I'll keep the escalation till the end then, but and then 2 hits.
Both 6s, so that's connected leads.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm going to connect Esmeralda and Phil. because clearly they are somehow complicit with trying to cover up what I think is an affair between Michael Ziegler and a showgirl, but actually is between Jennifer and Dr. Winter. Yeah. But
Yeah,
still,
okay.
you are complicit in either trying to make copies to blackmail some big shot or as an insurance policy. I don't know which. I don't need to know which. Yeah.
I mean, I think I was using. We were using the love letters. We we were going to expose this affair between Jennifer and Dr. Winters, and we were trying to get favors from Michael for that.
Fine. So using Winters to pressure Michael. Fine. Yeah,
Right.
that works. That works. And then, so therefore, is there a distinct connection between the love letters and the dirty drugs or the crime scene? I'm
Now what you've done, you made another 3 leads connected here.
Oh,
Maybe
right.
you can answer the last question.
Yeah, okay. So with those 3, I get to say why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think you're right. I think Phil and Esmeralda were trying to put pressure on Michael through Dr. Winter. But I think
Like maybe Michael confronted Dr. Winter, and Dr. Winter.
yeah. It's just how is it better for Dr. Winter killing Michael is pretty high. But if I were to say, because Michael confronted Dr. Winter,
Right,
when,
Michael threatened Dr. Winter, who was going to fire him, expose. Yeah.
So Michael confronted Dr. Winter when Winter tried to blackmail him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that gave Winter a motive and the means. Does that fly?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good enough.
Yeah. So,
does that make Phil and Esmeralda accessories after the fact? Or some other suitably noir phrase?
Well, we'll see. We have an epilogue scene as well. So, how does this like in the cutscene after we all figure out in the series? Like, how does that look like? Is the police coming in, figuring out about this?
I think so. Don't you? I think that this is detectives Ironside and Kenny Noisewater arriving at Dr. Winter's apartment, house, to arrest him.
Yeah, and does this pull in? How's that going to pull in both Esmeralda and Phil?
Well, we get to narrate that in our epilogue. I think.
Okay.
I think we just see like there's a police picking up like a phone.
Yeah.
Someone calling, and they're like, I think they're in like a room where they're doing like with this board, with the cork board, with all like the leads, and then he just like drops the phone, and he goes and connects like the lead between leads between like the love letters, Esmeralda and Phil, and I think and everyone is like looking at it, and then they're like running out into their police cars.
Yep.
Cool. So For your epilogue, begin taking 1 white dice for each unmarked box by your principal. There was actually one person who used their principal, broke their principal once.
I broke my principal.
Yeah. So the other one, we get to take 1 white dice for each of our principals. Unmarked box, so 2 dice then.
So I'm rolling 2 white dice.
No, just wait a second. So you get 1 because you broke your principal once.
Okay.
The rest of us gets 2 white dice.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to re-roll. Whoops, Daisy. Sorry.
And we get another 1 if we answered all the 3 questions, which we did.
I mean, are we rolling all of these dice together or separately?
I'm not sure if we're rolling them yet. I think we're not rolling them. It's just like to keep a note of the points we have. So
Okay.
So when you have for those of us who didn't break our principle at all, it's 2 white dice, and for you, Alan, it's 1.
Yeah.
And we also get 1 each for answering all the 3 questions.
So Alan goes up to 2, and the rest of us go to 3.
Yeah. And we take 1 black die for each black mark next to our principal, so Alan gets 1. And we get another 1 if 3 districts are escalated, which we did, so it's 2.
Okay,
so for each white die, you narrate the positive element of your character's future. For each black die, the other players will narrate 1 negative aspect.
Okay.
So should we do 1 person at a time and just clear the board each time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which character do you want to start with?
Am I right in thinking there I've got 2 white and 2 black?
Yes.
Okay. The positive one is that we see Davy at a wedding in Mexico.
Is there no rolling here? I thought this goes on the numbers of win and losses. Or yeah.
No.
I can't. Why are we assigning dice? Surely it should just be.
For each white dice, you narrate the positive element of your character's future. For each black die, other players get to narrate. So it's just like a points score thing. It would make more sense if we actually had dice at the table.
So I've got 2 white and 2 black. So my first white one is Davy at a big wedding in Mexico. Do you want me to do the black one because they're connected?
Yeah, I think the black die here is that you're completely broke. You have no money left from like the will or anything like that.
I mean, I was actually going to say it was the wedding of Lucille to Jeremy, the butler.
Okay.
Well, you got 2 black dice, so that you could be broke, and
exactly. Yeah.
But you get another positive.
Yeah. Do you want to go round once, and I'll come back to my other pair?
We can just finish up. I think it's just like the 1 white you have left. So you're broke, okay. And it's someone else's wedding.
But I'm about to make a film.
Yeah, Mexican
wrestling movie.
Yeah, it's an early spaghetti western made in Mexico.
Good. I think I'll go next. I think I have 1 black and 3 white.
Yeah.
So I think the Governors Yacht Club is like they're rebuilding. Nicer than before from the insurance money, and I think you see like Esmeralda with going to she just like gets sentenced for like a very minor thing and doesn't have to go to jail.
So it's a technicality on the fire regulations.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and if someone wants to throw me a black one, I can think about the water white. last white one.
But her reputation means that there's nobody there on opening night.
Oh yeah, I think it's. I like to like reiterate on that a little bit. Like I don't think it's a place for the cool people anymore. It's like a place for the gangsters.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
I can work with that.
Cool. Anyone want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. So I'm on 3 white and 1 red. So I think I am in the top mansion in Beverly Hills. And there is an enormous party going on, hundreds of women for my crew and myself, a big table full of cocaine massed up in the middle. And so that's my 3 good things. And I'd probably say for the bad thing, the camera then pans out of the room, and coming over the fence is lots of South Side boys intent on my murder. So I'm thinking quite sort of Al Pacino here in I can't remember the name of the film, with a big pile of cocaine, that sort of style.
Cool. And last, what about Phil?
I think. Yeah, I mean, I think I've got a wedding too. I think this star that I was hooking up with Michael, we end up getting married, and I mean, I'm getting out of the agent business, but I've got this great job selling used cars out in the suburbs. It's a lot of the same skills, and we've got this beautiful house with a white picket fence. And I guess there's one bad thing. That's any suggestions?
Yeah, I kind of imagine that being like, you have like a nice, a nice job and a nice relationship and family and stuff. But I think you still like sit down and watch movies in your house and you feel like, should have made it.
Yeah, I live the rest of my life with regrets.
Yeah. Cool. So that was Noirlandia. Thanks for playing, guys. That was interesting game.
Yes, thanks for facilitating, Michael. Much appreciated.
As ever, yes. Thank you.
I'm just gonna stop the recording now. We can have like a small chat about what we liked and didn't like about the game and stuff like that. Just a small debrief. But for people who might be viewing this after the fact, thanks for watching.